414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO-certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The biggest sports stories in Wisconsin, talked about by Wisconsin sports fans. For Wisconsin sports fans.
The Bucks aren't answering the phone. It's as simple as that. They shouldn't answer the phone because you don't just get... I don't care if you give me 65 first-round picks, you're not getting another Giannis.
Right, so my natural take here is going to, I'm going Packers here.
I fully agree with you.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers in the home opener as well.
Yeah, the Packers going to come in and they got to prove something. They got to play with a chip on their shoulder, and I think they beat Detroit week
Jason,
1.
do you think this is crazy that all four of us just picked the Packers in week 1?
Congratulations, you've now assured the fact that the Lions will win.
This is Sunday Karma, powered by ESPN Wisconsin. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. Alongside Greg Scalzo, Alex Strofe, and Kyle Wallace, here's Good Karma Brand's founder and CEO, Craig Karmazin.
Okay, Sunday Karma on a Sunday right here on ESPN Wisconsin. Boy, do we have a lot to get to. Packers training camp 3 days away. They start on Wednesday. The Brewers are the best team in baseball right now. Maybe not by record, but they've won 9 in a row. That's the longest streak in baseball, just a game back of the Cubs, who continue to beat the Red Sox. Thank you to the Cubs, by the way, because them beating the Red Sox on Friday, the Brewers beating the Dodgers again on Friday, and then again yesterday, extended their streak to the longest in the MLB. 9 in a row. Looking for the season sweep of the reigning champion today out in Los Angeles. Jason Wilde will join us in a half an hour, and maybe Craig Karmazin will join us as well. You know, bad on me, I didn't text him this morning.
Do you usually text him?
I usually do, yeah, and I didn't today. Because I was not listed on the schedule today. It said it was just Craig. And I knew I was coming out. I'm Alex Strofe. That's Will Summers. Will Summers running the show. Kyle Wallace on a well-deserved vacation. I'm going to shoot Craig a text because he might not even be in. We might have just not updated the schedule. But that would mean I'm in the wrong seat then. Yeah. Because it's really hard to look at you from the seat I'm currently in. But anyway. You think he went to Coldplay?
It's a good question. I saw a lot of people were there.
Yeah. Oh, Craig just said he's not in today.
Oh.
I'm in the wrong seat. Okay.
All right.
Well, I'll move next segment. But we've got a ton to get to. So just me and Will today then.
Let's go.
I love this show because we are definitely, in terms of ESPN Wisconsin shows, we are the worst at communication. Like, by far, we are the worst. We have one email chain that we each message like once a month and say, hey, I'm in this date, out this date, in this date, out this date. So thankfully, I'm in today because otherwise, Will, it would have been just you.
Yeah, that would have been.
And I texted you when? I texted you Friday night, I think.
Friday night, yes.
And I said, hey, I'll be there on Sunday. Okay. Well, hey, we're going to have a show anyway. Jason Wilde will join us at 10:30 this morning to talk all things green and gold before Packers training camp, which starts on Wednesday. And look, I'm really excited. I did this on Friday. Maybe we'll do this a little bit later, but on Mr. Relevant on Friday. But the battles I'm most looking forward to in training camp. And it feels like this year we have more of a attention-grabbing position battles than past years. Because if you think of past years of Packers training camp, I mean, 2023 is the easy one to look at. And nothing mattered in training camp in 2023 except whether or not Jordan Love looked good, right? It was his first season entering as the starter, first season without Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback in Green Bay. And that was the storyline. The storyline was, is Jordan Love a good quarterback? And while you can't necessarily answer that in training camp, you got some looks of, oh, okay, maybe this guy does have something. And then ultimately we know what he did in the 2023 NFL season that made him the quarterback of the future for Green Bay. Last year, I think the big question for Green Bay was, yeah, they're young, but they won a playoff game last year. Can they be more consistent? Can they be better? And of course, the big positional question last year was, can one of these wide receivers step up and become a dude in the NFL? And ultimately, that didn't happen. Thus, why the Packers go ahead and draft Matthew Golden in the first round. So this year, I look at the football team that the Packers have, and I think everybody's in agreement, right? You look at this team and you say, oh, okay, yeah, they're a good team. That's a good football team. And they're still one of the youngest teams in the league. But can they be a Super Bowl team? Can they be a championship contender? And there are still some definite question marks for the Packers. And we'll get into those, I think, a bit later, because I really want to talk Brewers and just, encapsulate the excitement that's going around Milwaukee's baseball team right now, because I just don't remember anything quite like it. But there are several battles in Green Bay Packers training camp that I'm looking forward to and would love to get your thoughts on that a little bit later in the show. So we'll get to that a bit later, and we'll dive into that a little bit with Jason Wilde as well. Alex Strofe, Will Summers with you. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin, with you until noon this morning. But let's talk about it, man. I mean, I try not to overreact. Now, do I fail sometimes? Yes. Frankly, we know me well enough, right, Will? Yep, I try not to overreact. Sometimes I do. I'm a fan at the end of the day, right? Like, I'm not like this unbiased journalist. I never pretend to be that. I never pretend to be, an all-knowing source. That's not me. I am a fan of these teams, right? I grew up in Wisconsin. I grew up rooting for these teams. I'm living my dream job, man, right? Like, I get to come in here 6 days a week and talk about Wisconsin sports, which is just a dream job. So I want to not go too far today when I'm talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. And, Will, you have to be my guardrails.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to overreact. I'm going to get there.
I can guide you in the right direction.
But I just, and I said this earlier in the week, and it only holds more true because of what we've witnessed this weekend. Right? Like, I mean, all week in the office, at the water cooler, during lunch, whatever, I'm talking to our teammates here at GKB Milwaukee, and I'm saying, look, when we come back on Monday, if the Brewers win at least 2 of 3 over the Dodgers, I'm going to be insufferable. I never even thought about the possibility of the Brewers, last week, obviously prior to the All-Star break, or 2 weeks ago now, sweeping the Dodgers, and then coming out of the All-Star break and sweeping the Dodgers again. I didn't think that was going to happen. And here we are entering Game 3 of the series, this weekend series, a 3:10 first pitch today on 620 WTMJ and right here on 100.5 ESPN in Madison. The Brewers have the possibility to have a season sweep of the world champion Dodgers. And look, I get it. They're a little beat up. They're not at 100%. They're not skating at full strength. But for the most part, the Dodgers are still looked at as the best team in the National League. And the Brewers have the opportunity to do something today that they've never done in their franchise's history, which is, sweep the season series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. But take that a step further to sweep the favorite to win the National League again in 2025. And there is so much excitement, rightfully so, around what the Brewers have done since really mid-May, but really since the beginning of June. And that is they have the best record in baseball. It looks like they legitimately have the best rotation in baseball. Guardrails, am I okay there? Best rotation in baseball?
It's up there. It's definitely a debate. So
you're going to let me say that.
As your guardrail, I'll let it continue.
All right, thank you.
I'm not going to intervene yet.
Yeah, thank you. The Milwaukee Brewers are looking like they have the best rotation in baseball because when you bring in a kid like Jacob Mizorowski, and look, there's still plenty to be seen when it comes to Miz. But what he's done through 5 MLB starts, and you can add the All-Star break or All-Star game inning in there if you'd like. He's 4-1 in the regular season. He throws absolute heat. He hasn't been figured out. He has one bad start. That's the one loss a couple weeks ago. I think it was the Cardinals who they got kind of pounded by. But he's 4-1. He throws absolute gas. He looks like he could be the future of baseball, period, end of sentence. what he is capable of. If he can stay healthy, he can be the face of the MLB, at least in pitching. And that is unbelievably exciting. Freddie Peralta has been awesome this year. I mean, he's been your ace. He's been exactly what you want out of Freddie Peralta. And ultimately, he's honored with an all-star nod for the Brewers. Not the replacement nod that Trevor McGill got and what Jacob Misiorowski got. He's the legitimate all-star for this team. And then Big Woo. Brandon Woodruff has come back and looked like Brandon Woodruff of old. All-star Brandon Woodruff. Like man, this is a step far, but like he looks like the Cy Young candidate of old. He looks like he hasn't lost a step despite missing, a season and a half plus of real actual playing time in Major League Baseball. So you've got 3 absolute studs in your starting rotation for Milwaukee, which, if you know baseball, that's really good. That's a really good problem to have. And Jose Quintana has been winning starts. Quinn Priester's been winning starts, right? These are guys that have been serviceable at the back end of your rotation, or really the middle of your rotation, depending on how Pat Murphy's throwing those guys out there. Let's talk about the other pitchers. You saw several of them last night. Aaron Ashby, not a great night for him in the win last night for Milwaukee, but Nick Mears is pulled in the 7th inning with only 1 out. 7 pitches, 2 strikeouts. Quick work for Nick Mears last night. Great. Awesome. Good stuff. 8th inning. No Abner Uribe, despite him warming up in the bullpen. They decided not to use him last night. They go the direction of Jared Koenig. Koenig, solid inning for him in the 8th. It brings it a little bit closer of a ball game, but able to get out of it, right? And I was sitting there wondering, I think he allowed 2 home runs, but still got out of it. And I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't they use Uribe? But he got out of the inning. They still have a 1-run lead, and you go, well, no matter what they do offensively, even if they add an insurance run, you're getting Trevor McGill. You're going to win this game. Mm. And that's an amazing thing to feel as a baseball fan. When you get to the end of a 1-run ball game and you go, oh, my God, they have Trevor McGill coming out. This dude's a stud, all-star. They're going to win this baseball game.
Even when you have the ability to pitch other guys and save guys like Abner Uribe to go for a potential sweep today. That's how much depth the pitching staff has.
Which is so important to acknowledge why I don't think I'm overreacting yet when I say they look like a legitimate World Series contender. And yes, they are obviously riding a very high of a 9-game winning streak, including 5 wins over the reigning champion LA Dodgers. But I haven't even talked about the offense yet. I'm only talking about the pitching staff so far. And I think But that is the makeup of a World Series team alone, and I haven't even gotten to the offense yet. And I will start by talking about the offense the way we've talked about the Brewers teams the last several seasons. They do just enough to win a bunch of ball games, to back up the really good pitching, but this is the best pitching they've had. And here comes the offense all of a sudden. Let's start here, because I'm fascinated by this dude. And you're a White Sox fan, Will, so you can give us some insight. When the Brewers traded Aaron Savale a couple weeks ago, which was an amazing case, if you forgot what happened there, just the real quick brief on that is, the Brewers called up Jacob Misiorowski, and they told Aaron Savale, hey, man, you're not going to start anymore. We want to work you out of the pen. Savale said, I don't want to do that. I want to continue to be a starting pitcher. Trade me. And the Brewers said, okay. And they traded him to, the second worst team by record, but really the biggest dumpster fire of a franchise in Major League Baseball. They traded him to the Chicago White Sox.
Rockies. Come on.
Also a dumpster fire.
It's close.
I mean, it is close.
It's not good company for sure, but it's close.
The record isn't as close, though. I think the White Sox have won like 10 more games than the Rockies.
Yeah, they've beat all their milestones from where they were last year. So
that's good.
Yeah, I know.
That's improvement.
Every once in a while, you just get a tweet. It's like, the White Sox have 40 wins right now. At this time last year, they had 12. Like, it's improvement.
That's a huge improvement.
What do they say? Success isn't linear.
No, that's what Jason Wilde often says.
Yes.
Who will join us in a bit. Okay, hold on. We have an update. Actually, we'll get to this in a moment. I'm still riffing on the Brewers, and I know we're running late. But what's going on with Andrew Vaughn? This guy's amazing.
I mean, you knew he was good. He was a Golden Spikes winner in college. He was like the Heisman of college baseball, and he was good coming up for the White Sox. He was good at times, and then just kind of like hit a lull the past 2 years, and really just, I think he had one of the worst WARs in baseball of the qualified players at the time that he got traded to the Brewers.
Minus 1.8.
Yes.
As a White Sox this year. 0.5 as a Brewer. But he's only played 7 games. In his 7 games, he's 7 for 20 from the plate. He's hit 2 home runs in his 7 games. He had a huge swing last night, huge RBI to extend their lead. I think it was in the 6th inning. So that's a 350 average, a 440 OBP, a 750 slugging, 1.19 OPS. That's pretty good, by the way. 12 RBIs in 7 games.
He could have just been intentionally tanking for the White Sox to get traded to a contender.
Well, it worked out really well for him, and he's been an amazing replacement for Rhys Hoskins.
The second he got to Nashville and played AAA, I think he hit a home run his first game.
He did. That's correct. I think his first
The second he got there, yes.
The second,
he decided
the
to
literal
turn
second.
it on. He decided to turn it on.
Churi has picked it up as of late. Another nice game for him last night. Bryce Terang, who's been leading off this series because Sal Frelick hit the IL, has been awesome. Had a triple towards the end of the game. Didn't ultimately end up scoring on that one, but he scored 2 runs beside that yesterday. I mean, they're just finding ways, and it's not sexy, right? Like, they're 24th, I think, in the MLB in home runs. They're not the sexiest offensive team, but they are finding ways to dink and dunk and score runs and back up their defense just enough to now win the MLB's best 9 in a row. So you don't need to contain your excitement anymore. What you are witnessing is a World Series level contender. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Brewers are that good right now. And obviously it can, it depends on the Brewers staying healthy. It depends on them continuing to play the way they've been playing. But as it stands right now, you are witnessing a World Series contender. So enjoy it. I think that this is the most exciting Brewers team we've witnessed in the 21st century.
The lineup is so exciting, too, because of the fact that guys on their bench and guys that don't play, they're not everyday starters, are just stepping up consistently. Like Blake Perkins last night, playing center field, stepping up, hit a triple. Joey Ortiz, who is not a big power hitter, hits a big home run last night. I think that's the big part about it that makes it a lot of fun about this team, is that every single night it's somebody new stepping up. It's somebody that is not maybe a superstar, is not one of their frontier players, but he just steps up and does his job, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm with you with that. I see a couple questions coming in on the Carbless text line, which I want to get to on the other end, or on the other side. 800-990-3776. Teddy in Watertown, I see you. Adam in the 623. Where's the 623? Where is that? That is 623 area code. Phoenix, Arizona. Had a layover in Phoenix last week.
Nice.
First time I've been in that airport. Nice airport in Phoenix. Yeah, never been there. So Adam and Phoenix, Teddy in Watertown, I see your questions on the Carbless text line. We're going to get to that because we're not going to be able to contain Brewers' excitement today as they go for a season sweep and a series sweep, which they've already won the series, against the reigning champion LA Dodgers. Oh, baby, is this team good. Get to your questions. Continue to talk Brewers. Jason Wilde will join us at 10:30. Ton of fun still ahead. He's Will Summers. I'm Alex Strofe hanging out with you. This is Sunday Karma right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hi, Mitzi. What's the news from Kessler's in Brookfield?
Everything's smooth like butter. We're all just marching to the beat of the big bass drum.
That sounds like fun.
Your email said you wanted to talk about 32 things. What are they?
The 32 things are rare and special engagement rings.
Tell me more.
Each one of these amazing rings is just waiting for someone to choose the center stone.
What about the side stones?
All the side stones are Kessler 81s.
81 windows exploding with light instead of just 57 windows that are modestly glowing like most other diamonds.
We have 16 rings in 18 karat gold and 16 rings in platinum.
All they need is a center diamond?
Yeah, and our prices on natural center diamonds and created center diamonds are incredibly low right now.
Each store has a beautiful assortment of these rings?
Yes, and they're priced from just $900 up to $3,900.
Good job. Keep marching to the beat of that big bass drum, Mitzi.
I'm excited.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh. You know owning a home is one of the best investments you can make, but keeping it comfortable, energy efficient, and looking great, that takes a little extra work. But this summer, Universal Windows Direct is making it easy to finally tackle that project with an offer you can't pass up. Right now, you get to choose your offer. Pick the one that works for you. Payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest. Call 414-410-2000 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
Drive a clean car every day. Tsunami Express Car Wash makes driving in style simple with unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Become a member and enjoy premium fast lane access, free vacuums, and powerful tire air, all included in your membership. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, New Berlin, and Mount Pleasant, it's easier than ever to get a winning wash with Milwaukee's favorite car wash team. Sign up and score big at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Avondale Roofing is knocking on your door. Leaking roof? Man, that's a shame. Call the real pros. We running this game. We patch it, thatch it, no need to stress. Our crew shows up and cleans up the mess. No drips, no drafts, no drama at all. Just tight new shingles, then a leak-proof hall. Hey.
It's nothing but Avondale, baby. They keep it dry when the weather gets crazy. Hey.
Visit AvondaleRoofing.com. That is AvondaleRoofing.com.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Maybe I leave. Darkness, she is all I see. Come and rest your bones.
Sunday Karma with you, ESPN Wisconsin, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app, and, of course, ESPN Wisconsin on YouTube. Plenty of you rocking with us there. ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube as well to kick off your Sunday morning. Grab a cup of Joe. Let's talk Wisconsin sports, shall we? Discussing Brewers' excitement, which I'm really struggling to contain. I truly believe this team is good enough to go to the World Series.
I don't think you need to contain it. You shouldn't contain it. They're the second best team in baseball.
Yeah, right. Second best team in baseball, second best team in the National League. Cubs still a game ahead of the Brewers. Look, I don't like the Cubs. I don't like any Chicago sports team. Sorry, Will. I know you do. You grew up in the Chicago area.
It's okay. Not a lot of people do.
That's fair. I respect the Cubs, though, this year. I don't like their manager for what he did to us, but
they're legit.
They're really good. It's a really good baseball team. And seeing how they're handling the Red Sox, who came out of the All-Star break as the hottest team in baseball this weekend, it just takes me off because obviously seeing what the Brewers are doing, you feel like they deserve to be in first place in the NL Central, and they just are struggling to catch the Cubs. They're still a game back.
It sucks because the Brewers are doing way more with less than the Cubs. Talent-wise, paper-wise, money-wise, they don't have as many assets as the Cubs, and they're still right on their tail right now.
Yeah. Adam in what we've discovered is Glendale, Arizona, not Phoenix. Adam says, what do they do with Nestor Cortez? Is he a trade piece? Because he's about to come back soon, too. The answer is ultimately yes. And I forget who wrote the piece, but I saw a really good piece. He's been rehabbing with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers up in Appleton. And he was interviewed. It might have been Adam McCalvey over at Brewers.com. I'm not exactly sure who it was, though. But they had a sit-down with Nestor Cortez. And he pretty much said, yeah, look, like I'm at the point in my career where I understand I might be holding up the line for developing pieces. So I understand if Miz or Priester or whoever, if they have my spot. And I think the ultimate answer is probably, if the Brewers, and there absolutely is no excuse for not being buyers at the deadline and trying to amplify this roster a little bit, give it a little extra juice as you gear up for what we hope is a World Series run. I mean, Cortez could be a nice piece to even a contender, right, who doesn't have the rotation of Milwaukee. When you look at the 5 you've got right now, so the obvious 3 and then to be Priester and Quintana, you feel really good about those 5. You don't need a Nestor Cortez on that roster in the playoffs, unless, of course, there's injuries, and maybe that would be a reason to hang on to him or put him in AAA or do whatever, which they may do until the end of the month. The deadline is 11 days from today, July 31st. But I would guess that's ultimately what happens with Nestor Cortez. That's from Adam in Glendale, Arizona. Teddy in Watertown says this. I think I mentioned in the 8th inning how they didn't go with Abner Uribe, and I was a little confused on that. Will, you made the point, and Teddy in Watertown makes the point as well. I think the idea was to save Uribe for a save situation today. Very well could be. McGill's pitched each of the last 2 nights. They might go back to him today, but they could use Abner in the setup in the 8th inning or the 7th inning, whatever they want to do with him. But to save him for today, took a little cojones. I mean, you want to confirm you're going to win that series last night.
Trust his guys,
and that's what Pat Murphy does.
It almost didn't pay off.
Almost didn't.
Yeah,
got a little dicey there with Jared Koenig in the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
But they find a way to win games, which is what the Brewers have been so good at doing under Pat Murphy. That's not only a this year thing, that's a last year thing as well. They just find ways to win baseball games. And, I mean, look at it this way, right? Like, offensively, I'm talking, and this would be their position players, right? Catcher, first through third, and the outfield. It's not like they have, like, a bona fide superstar right now. I mean, Christian Yelich has been good in the DH spot. Churrio's obviously an up-and-comer and will likely evolve into a superstar in this league. He's still really young. Andrew Vaughn's probably been, at least the last 2 weeks,
superstar.
Their best case for a superstar offensively. But it's not like anybody's a superstar. They're just finding ways to get timely hits and steal bases. They're one of the best teams in the major leagues in stealing bases and ultimately turn those into runs. I'd still like them to capitalize on runners in scoring position situations a little bit better than they have. But I guess I can't really complain when you've won 9 in a row. But it's not like they have a bona fide superstar there. And I'm not saying they're going to acquire one at the deadline, but could you acquire a big-time bat, right? A guy that can hit home runs in a hitter-friendly park like AmFam Field down the stretch and ultimately into the postseason. That's what I would like to see them do, and I think Nestor Cortez, to Adam's earlier point, could be at play there. Teddy from Watertown, is it sad? I am more worried they will trade Peralta than do nothing at the deadline. As a Brewers fan, I am not ready to get hurt again. I really hope Matt Arnold and company learned their lesson from what happened a couple of years ago when they traded Josh Hader at the deadline. It was a team at the time who was in first place of the NL Central. You trade Josh Hader, and it kills morale in the clubhouse. You trade a guy who's obviously been in Milwaukee for years, which is the same with Freddie, a guy who has become a vocal leader and such a crucial part of the team's DNA, like Freddie is now and Hader was then, and it crushed them. They missed the playoffs. It's the only time in the last 7 years the Brewers have missed the playoffs was when they traded Josh Hader at the deadline. And I think we can all agree that certainly had something to do with why they missed the playoffs, is trading Josh Hader at the deadline. And yes, obviously they loved Devin Williams in the few years he had there, and they wanted him to become the closer. And he did. He had a nice run. Obviously, his last game as a Brewer wasn't super pretty.
Ouch.
Well, I hate to bring it up, but it's the
During
truth.
such a good run of Brewers baseball, you're going to bring that up.
I guess my point is, I think the Brewers have learned their lesson at the trade deadline. And trading Freddie it would worry me that would kill all morale and momentum, despite how good the rotation is, even if Freddie wasn't to be there. But no, Freddie will be here. I think it'd be really, really dumb to trade Freddie at the deadline.
I mean, he's the ace.
Yes, correct.
Miz and Wu, skill set aside, Freddie is your ace. He's the guy you're pitching game 1 of every playoff series. Easily.
Yeah. Chef Ed chiming in before we get to Jason Wilde coming up next. Chef Ed says this. Strofe, I'm right there with you. They are good enough to make it to the World Series. But I don't want to get too excited only to have my heart broken again. You're cooking with Chef Ed. All right. Chef Ed, I love you. You know that. And I love anybody listening, interacting, hanging out with us this morning on this Sunday morning, having a cup of coffee with us on Sunday Karma. Alex Strope, Will Summers with you. But it is time to get over the fear of heartbreak. It's time. We can't. I understand, right? As Brewers fans, we are in the golden age of Brewers baseball, and every year we go into the postseason going, okay, well, they got to catch some breaks, but they have a chance. And they find new ways, they invent new ways to break our heart. I understand that. And if you're a Wisconsin sports fan, like I know Chef Ed is, I know myself is, right? If you're a Packers fan, if you're a Bucks fan, if you're a Badgers fan, if you're a Marquette fan, whatever you are in terms of athletics in the state of Wisconsin, how blessed are we to have teams that invent new ways to break our heart every year? That is the thrill of being a sports fan. The reason you are a sports fan is to ride the roller coaster of emotions that comes along with being a sports fan. What we are in the middle of right now is not only the longest winning streak in Major League Baseball, 9 games in a row for Milwaukee, it is also, I contend this, I think it's the best Brewers team of the 21st century. That's what they have the possibility to be. Obviously, they have broken the record of most wins at the All-Star break in franchise history. They are that good. The rotation is the best it's ever been, at least in my time watching baseball. I started watching baseball the CC Spathia year, 2008. So I know there are people that have been watching baseball longer than I have. But the beauty of being a sports fan is to ride the roller coaster of emotions. We are at the highest of highs right now in the middle of July, the highest you can be in the middle of July on July 20th. You are witnessing a damn good team who can beat anybody in Major League Baseball. The proof is in the pudding. They are going for a season sweep of the still betting favorite to win the National League and the reigning World Series champion. They are as good as anybody. So, yes, I understand protecting your heart because at the end of the day, one team of the 30 wins the World Series. But the good news for you, Chef Ed, and anybody that's trying to protect their heart despite understanding what we are witnessing, the good news for you is the Brewers are good enough to be that one team that wins the World Series this year. That is what we are witnessing. So stop protecting your heart. Jump all in. The water's fine in the deep end. The Brewers are that good in 2025. Going for the season sweep of the Los Angeles Dodgers. 3:10 first pitch today, right here on 100.5 ESPN Madison and our sister station in the Milwaukee area. 6:20 WTMJ. All right, we will switch gears, turn our attention. Packers training camp starts this week on Wednesday. And ESPN Wisconsin will have you covered all day long Wednesday, live from the Tundra Trio in Green Bay, beginning with Wilde and Tausch at 9 o'clock. That will lead into Jim, Matt, and Molly at 12 o'clock on ESPN Madison. That will lead into Mr. Relevant with me at 12 o'clock on ESPN Milwaukee on Wednesday. And then, of course, Kyle Brust and Nortman will have you covered in the afternoon following the Packers' first open practice of training camp on Wednesday in Green Bay. So we will dive into some of the position battles I'm watching, some of the position battles Jason Wilde is watching. Also, his list of the 20 most important Packers has come to an end. Number 1 was released today over at channel3000.com. So we'll dive into that with Wilde as well on the other side. We talk Packers training camp next. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Want to play your best golf ever? The Wisconsin Country Club just launched WCC Performance Academy, powered by Catalyst Golf Performance and Aritas Physical Therapy. TrackMan, 3D Motion, Miha EMS, everything to move better, feel stronger, and shoot lower scores. Train like a pro or like an athlete. Play pain-free. I'm ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. Become a member at Wisconsin Country Club like I did. No assessments, no minimums, and a beautiful, challenging course and great corporate membership opportunities, plus tennis, pickleball, and a pool. Visit thewisconsincountryclub.com. Just a fairway away.
Hey, Jen Latta here, and as a client of the We Sell Group, I can tell you firsthand, Rob and Nick make the home buying and selling process easier. Right now, school's out, and that means it's the perfect time to list your home. The market is challenging and inventory is tight, but you don't have to face it alone. Rob and Nick are pros. They take the stress off your plate so you can focus on your family, your summer, and just breathe. Contact Rob and Nick to see what your home might be worth in this market. Connect today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong wind and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. When Tri-City National Bank decided to optimize their print output strategy, they needed a resource with the expertise to recommend a solution. CIO Robert Prang.
And James helped us with that analysis of what our print consumption was and what we were doing.
The outcome of the James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services recommendation?
We ended up reducing down to about 97 total printers and copiers from 197.
The impact on your print output?
We eliminated over 500,000 pages a month of output that we figured out we really didn't need.
Month after month, that adds up to savings and value.
Oh, tons of value. Those numbers add up even when it's only a penny or so per page.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft Greystone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft Greystone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
At IKEA Oak Creek, we love helping you make your home uniquely yours. And now, we are making it even more rewarding with new rewards from IKEA Family. With rewards, members earn points on every purchase and extra points for things like attending qualifying IKEA Family events, utilizing IKEA planning services, and much more. Then use your points for great rewards, including discounts on purchases and services, and of course, delicious food. Did somebody say meatballs? IKEA is making it more rewarding than ever to be part of our family. Not a member yet? Sign up for free at IKEA.com/US and start earning.
Start the day with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
When you're paid like an A player, you have to play like an A player, not a B player, and he has never played like an A player.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans.
Good vibes, Sunday Karma. Thanks for waking up with us. Alex Strope, Will Summers hanging out with you this morning until noon. Right here on ESPN Wisconsin, the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app, and, of course, ESPN Wisconsin on YouTube. One of my favorite parts of every Sunday is catching up with our good friend Jason Wilde, the three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, co-host of Wilde and Tausch. And this is a unique one because it is the final time we will talk to Jason Wilde this year without actual football to talk about. Training camp for the Green Bay Packers begins Wednesday, which unfortunately means summer is over for Jason Wilde. Sorry to throw that bummer out there, Jason. Good morning. How are you?
Well, let's start by saying I'm not sure how much you're going to enjoy this. Couple things. First of all, is Will choosing the music?
Yes, he is. Mm-hmm. That's correct, yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
That doesn't get me fired up.
It just came up on one of the suggested.
Just let your head down.
That's a great tune.
Secondly, don't, no, I'm not done. Secondly, thanks for waking up with us. Your show starts at 10.
All right, hold on. We need to figure out Jason's connection. It's coming in really choppy, but I heard what he said. It was thanks for waking up with us. It starts at 10. Yeah, I guess I would say this, Jason. I'm not necessarily saying people set their alarms for 10 o'clock a.m. I'm saying people, they might get up at 7 or 8 or 9, but they're probably still on their second or third cup of coffee. It's Sunday. Everybody's moving slow. We're just getting the day started. So, yeah, I would say, thanks for waking up with us, starting your day with us maybe would have been a better way to phrase that.
Yeah, look, the only thing that was true that you said there was that this is the last time we'll do Sunday Karma without football to talk about. But that's fine. I'm not here to critique. I'm here to enjoy my time with you. Well, maybe a little. I'm here to hold you accountable. We got two of the young rising stars of ESPN Wisconsin, and sometimes you need to be reminded that you haven't arrived yet, just like I sometimes need to be reminded of that, hey, we're all a work in progress. We all have room to improve. So I just gave a couple of my opinions, just like I gave my opinion, an informed opinion based on my blue ribbon panel, that as tempted as I was to put Josh Jacobs at number 1 on our countdown, he wound up at number 2, and Jordan Love in his rightful place at number 1.
So let's do a peek behind the curtain of this series, because it was really cool to be at least a little bit involved in it. I was part of your quote unquote blue ribbon panel, though I don't know if I qualify.
So you were more than a little bit involved. Your opinions mattered.
Thanks, Jason. So you sent us a list right when the series started about 3 weeks ago. When you were released number 20, number 19, I think you then sent me the list at least. I don't know how you handled everybody on the panel, but I think there was about 10 of us. Is that about the right number?
Yeah, there were a couple people who work in the building that I trust to make sure that I don't look stupid. There's a couple of former NFL players, multiple former NFL players on our team. A couple of other friends of mine in the media sphere, and a couple of my teammates whose opinions that I respect that, like me, did not play in the National Football League. So, yeah, it was kind of a cross-section. A couple of retired folks that I think are really smart guys that I wish would still find time in their busy retirement schedules to write in some form or fashion. Tom Oates, I'm looking at you. So there were a lot of folks that were involved, but you were among them, and you and multiple others, including Oatsy, thought that my maneuver of putting Jordan Love second was foolhardy. And I want to be clear on something. I seriously considered that. I still think that I can make a convincing argument as to why. I may lose the argument ultimately, but I think I have a pretty solid case, right? But hey, sometimes even the best lawyers lose cases despite their best efforts. So I get all that. I think we ended up with the right decision ultimately, but I do think that, as we've talked about for weeks on end now, that the quarterback's got to elevate his game to another level. And I know there's a lot of folks in the Packers Twitter sphere that like to talk about how star-spangled awesome he is, and seem to think, as I said earlier, that he has arrived, and I don't think he's there yet. And so I think he needs to elevate his game for them to get to where they want to go. There's going to be some games where they don't win with him, they win because of him. And I think he's capable of that, but I want to see it, because I don't think we've seen it often enough to be able to say that he can do that on a regular basis.
So obviously one part of this series is just seeing the final list, right? Where did Jason rank each Packer? And obviously Jordan Love being number 1 is really a surprise to, I would assume, nobody, because he is ultimately the quarterback of this team. But I still encourage people to go over to channel3000.com and read the piece, because your angle on it, essentially, Jason, is, and correct me if this wasn't your angle on it, but reading it, my takeaway is he needs to be a lot better than he was last year, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot maybe is a little strong, but he certainly has to be, a meaningful amount better. I don't want to make it sound like he's, a stiff, right? I don't know how many more times I have to say this, and again, one of my frustrations with what we do, and we've got great jobs, and we're all lucky to have them, because it sure beats working for a living. But there seems to be a poor impression of the fan base that if you're critical of him, you're basically a blasphemer, and you don't understand just how great he is. And look, he may turn out to be great. I mean, he really might, but he's not great yet, right? I mean, he's good, and that's a good thing, right? We should be excited about that. Packers fans should be excited about that. But there's more growth to be had, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I'm getting to be an old man, not as old as Homer, but there's still room for me to get a heck of a lot better when I do. And so I don't think that that's a bad thing. But as I look at last season, and I obviously, if you've read it at channel3000.com, I know Strofe has signed up for the newsletter, so he's getting them all delivered directly to his inbox, I hope.
I think you're saying that as a joke, but no, I actually am.
Oh, nice. Thank you for your service and for your subscription. It's free, just like all the coverage, so you get what you pay for. But, look, the story is I kind of pegged it on what, frankly, I wasn't standing there when it happened. I had gotten my questions in to Jordan that I wanted to ask him, and then I had somebody else was talking on the other side of the room since we're still not back in the locker room, but hopefully that'll be the case by the start of the first practice. But so I walked away, and I watched the video after the fact, and I had not seen Jordan Love get even remotely snippy with anyone, ever. And one of the reporters from one of the local TV stations had used the phrase that he had taken a step back. And Jordan pretty clearly took exception to that. And in his way, he was kind of pissed.
Mm-hmm.
It was not, I've certainly seen, including when Brett Favre and I had differences of opinion, I have certainly seen some much more vehement back and forths between reporter and quarterback. But it was clear that Jordan did not like the framing of that question. And look, I would say this if he was on as a guest right now. However you want to slice it, because if you remember correctly, in the aftermath of that, the entire sports commentary universe, including Unsportsmanlike and Dan Orlovsky and all the national pundits as well, turned this into, did Jordan Love take a step back? Did he regress? All this other stuff. And it fueled conversation for a week. Well, look, however you want to frame it, whether he took a step back, he did not take a sufficient step forward, or he just sort of stayed the same and didn't really, however you want to look at it, or maybe he progressed. That was Orlovsky's argument. He progressed, you just couldn't see it. Bottom line is, the way he finished the 2023 season and the way we felt about how he was playing and the way the Packers felt about how he and they were playing, juxtaposed against how they finished the 24 season and how they were playing and how he was playing, that is a step back. And, oh, by the way, they won more games, but they won the exact same number of games as they did with him as the starter in both years, right? Because he missed 2 starts. And quite frankly, Malik Willis also won the Jacksonville game. So my point is that it's okay to say, however you want to frame it, that he did not in the year 2. Look at the numbers that Rodgers put up in year 2, right? And we're not comparing them because we don't know what Jordan Love is going to be as a finished product, but Aaron Rodgers made a pretty meaningful jump forward statistically in year 2. He didn't make the playoffs in year 1. I get all that, but Jordan needs to be better. And I feel like I know Jordan well enough to be able to say, you know what? He knows he needs to be better. I'm not telling him anything he doesn't already know.
I think that's well said. Jason Wilde with us here on Sunday Karma. Coming up next, on Friday's Mr. Irrelevant, I had 3 training camp battles I had my eye on entering training camp on Wednesday. I want to get Jason Wilde's opinion on the 3 that I am really intrigued by come Wednesday, the beginning of training camp for Green Bay. We will dive into that. Coming up next, Alex Strofe, Jason Wilde, Will Summers hanging out with you at Sunday Karma right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The hottest takes.
Like, if you're cooking with something and you think there's something in the room, please, God, send me something.
Without pumping the brakes.
Send me a third baseman. I like Caleb Durbin. He's playing well as of recent. But you need more guys. You need some more pop. They still need another bat.
Kyle Brust and Nortman. Afternoons from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Hey, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Hey, Joe. To what do we owe the honor?
Don't you have CEO-type things you need to be doing?
Or Joe might be here because he's been doing some CEO-type things that he thinks we should know about.
Bingo. You guessed it, Monica.
What do you need us to do, Joe?
Well, I'm here because I want to present an idea to you.
Cool. What is it?
I've been talking with finance companies and was able to make a deal for 18-month financing at 0% interest with a $750 or more purchase.
And your idea was to offer 18-month 0% financing to all of our customers?
It's subject to credit approval, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
How long will we be able to do it?
From July 1st to July 31st.
0% will let people buy diamonds that were on their bucket list.
I know what I'm buying.
I'm going on a shopping spree. I'm going to have more jewelry than the Queen of England.
So you like the idea?
We don't like it. We love it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video. Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Young. Sunday Karma with you Sunday morning on ESPN Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, Will Summers running the show, and Jason Wilde, the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, with us for a couple more minutes. Packers training camp begins on Wednesday. I can't believe that, Jason. Isn't that still, like, it still feels absurd to me that summer goes by that quickly.
Well, summer doesn't go by that quickly, only if you cover the NFL. I mean, there's still a month left of summer if you're a soon-to-be sophomore and a soon-to-be freshman. And
it's true.
They are very excited about another month of summer vacation and a lot of sports stuff. But yeah, For me, yeah, bummer, dude. But again, we're really lucky to do what we do, so I try not to complain. That said, we got our last hurrah. Our buddy Matt Carney's playing in Door County on Tuesday night, so we're going to head up there. Nice. It'll be kind of okay, girls, it's been nice seeing you. And look, the other thing is for those that, and I don't want to get into my career as I kick off year 30, but the fact of the matter is there was once upon a time when there were, as I tell you all the time, 51 practices. It was dawn until midnight working, and it ain't that tough, and I got nothing to complain about there.
That's true. We are lucky to do what we do, and year 30 for you. Congratulations, dude. That's quite a milestone. That's really exciting. So, first practice Wednesday. It is open to the public, 10:30 a.m. Actually, practices all 3 days and Sunday. Saturday, the only off day, 10:30 a.m. practice. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday in Green Bay, which is open to the public. Of course, you can go to that if you are up in the Green Bay area. All right, I've got 3 battles I particularly have my eye on for beginning Wednesday in training camp. So I just want to throw them at you and see where your head is at on these 3. Let's start with my number 3 battle.
I didn't think there were 3, so I'm very eager to hear this.
Oh, there might even be more than 3, but these are the 3 particular ones I'm looking at. Number 3 is cornerback hierarchy, Jason. Just to see how, kind of almost how we treated the wide receivers last year. Who takes that step, right? Because as we talked about on State of the Packers, I think Valentine's probably my pick to be the Packers' number 1 corner this year, or best performing corner this year, because he's been a great story. But can he be a great corner as the former 7th-round pick? But obviously an offseason addition in Nate Hobbs. Keyshawn Nixon has self-appointed himself CB1. And then there's just a bunch of dudes behind them. The past 2 7th-round picks, Michael Robinson this year, Kalen King last year. There's some nice stories, but who really is the dude? So cornerback hierarchy is training camp battle number 3 for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think we know who the 3 are, right? The top 3 are, and it's a question of how they'll be deployed. But I would argue that I think it's probably going to change from week to week, and that none of them ultimately will be viewed as CB1. I mean, I don't think, and I don't want to speak for Jeff Hafley, but I don't think Jeff Hafley has any plan to have a guy travel with the opponent's best receiver. I think they're going to play a bunch of zone coverages with their eyes on the ball, and I think the goal is going to be to, do things that are deceptive and confusing, move guys around. I really like Carrington Valentine. As a player and as a dude, I respect the heck out of him because he did the thing that I think everyone wants guys to do, whether you're a fan, whether you're a coach, whether you're a teammate. It's that the coaches asked him to do something, and he did it. And he does that all the time, right? They wanted him to bulk up. They wanted him to change different techniques. And I think Jeff Hafley really, really likes him. So, but I also think to some degree he is pretty clearly an outside corner. He's not a slot guy. Whereas Nixon and Hobbs are both interchangeable inside-outside. So that versatility, I think, is going to be what's going to be interesting to me anyway about how they utilize those two. But I think there's no question that their top outside corner who will stay out there is going to be Carrington Valentine. But I think that's more based on his skill set than, he's this much better than anybody else outside.
Battle number 2 for me is wide receiver 1. I view it as Matthew Golden versus everybody else.
Oh, so are you taking Matthew Golden or are you taking the field?
I'm taking Matthew Golden.
Yeah, you very well could be right. I don't want to say you're wrong. I still think, and look, I don't know what Tetaroa McMillan is going to do in Carolina. Emeka Ibuka, where did he end up?
Tampa Bay, I believe.
Tampa Bay, yep. I don't know what those guys are going to do. They obviously went higher than Matthew Golden did. But I don't think with where they are as an offense, who they have in their mix, what is at stake for a bunch of those guys that have been here for a few years now, and the challenges of being a rookie in the National Football League, I don't think he's going to end up as their leading receiver. I think he's going to have some big-time games. I think he's going to be productive. I don't think we're going to be going, oh, my God, why did they draft it? Like Treylon Burks, was that it, the guy that went to Tennessee, and everybody thought the Packers should have taken him? He was terrible.
He was awful.
I don't think that's Matthew Golden. But I do think that the transition is difficult. Now, there's been a bunch of wide receivers that have been productive as rookies in recent years. Malik Neighbors last year, right? I mean, but, the list is Puka Nacua holds the NFL record for most receiving yards by a rookie. And what was he, a fifth-round pick?
Something like that, yeah.
Like,
Day 3.
That's impressive. But overall, I think, the other guys that have done it are guys that are, like, big-time special, right? Like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. And so I'm not in any way saying that Matthew Golden won't be special at any point. I just think it's really hard to be really special right away. And even guys like Devontae Adams, who we all saw grow into one of the best wide receivers in football, it didn't happen right away. It happened in fits and spurts. And this is where you get to hear what the girls always have to listen to from me. Growth isn't linear. There's going to be times where you grow a bunch.
I just want you to know how much of an impact you make by how often you say that. Will Summers quoted you this morning in our opening segment with growth is not linear.
I did. Talking about Andrew Vaughn and the White Sox, how they have improved slightly from last year, winning more games at this benchmark of the summer. So he's the Jason Wilde he's saying there.
Oh, take care, be good there, Will. So look, so I don't know what his season's going to go. And again, I could be completely wrong on this, right? I mean, he could go out there and he could be special from the jump. And obviously that would be at another fascinating facet to what this wide receiver group looks like. But my belief is it's going to take him a little bit, and he's going to have some games when you're like, damn, this guy's unbelievable. And he's going to have some games where he has 3 catches for 18 yards. And that's how it's going to play out. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will. And number one, to the surprise of nobody, is left tackle Rasheed Walker versus last year's first-round pick Jordan Morgan. This battle is really intriguing to me for a few reasons, Jason, besides the obvious of who will protect Jordan Love's blind side at left tackle. But the Packers, and this is kind of more the angle I want to address, is they have not really been taking care of financially their offensive linemen, at least to this point, right? Elton Jenkins seems like he's not, well, he was placed on the non-football injury list, if I'm not mistaken, entering camp. And we know he held in during the offseason OTAs because he just wants more guaranteed money switching from left guard to center. Zach Tom still hasn't been extended. And you have said a few times, both on this program and every other one, if you were him or consulting him, you'd tell him to hold in to start training camp until he's paid at right tackle. Rasheed Walker is entering a contract year and has been the Packers' left tackle for a majority of the last 3 seasons. And he's done a really nice job at left tackle as a former 7th-round pick. They might just put Jordan Morgan out there because he's entering year 2 of a rookie contract, and he was a first-round pick, and they need him to play at some point. And then they don't have to pay Rasheed Walker if he ends up as their left tackle, even if he is the better option in terms of skill set. So this battle is intriguing to me for multiple reasons, but the financial might actually be the most intriguing reason for me. Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. Oh, really? Not with you. With what they're doing. Oh, sure. Like, and look, in complete transparency and in fairness to Jordan Morgan, I don't know if he's any good or not. We saw him in training camp for a little while. Then he jacked up his shoulder, missed a bunch of time, came back, hurt his shoulder again, missed some time, started one game, right? Re-injured his shoulder again, had surgery, he was done for the year. Like, he didn't have as bad of a year as Marshawn Lloyd, with my famous line about rivers being turned to blood and locusts and frogs and all the other things that were going to happen to him, like in the Old Testament. But it was a tough year for Jordan Morgan. But I thought Rasheed Walker had a good year. Like,
as I like to say, he's not Joe Thomas, he's not Chad Clifton, he's not Brian Balaga, our teammate, but I think he's a pretty good football player. And to me, if he had better, like Jordan Morgan, in my opinion, if he doesn't go out there and absolutely dominate to the degree that you're like, there's no contest, he is definitely better than Sheed, I don't get it. And Sheed knocked him out in the first round of training camp last year. Before he hurt his shoulder, Jordan Morgan still was not in the mix for the starting left tackle job. Like, he shut it down pretty quickly. And so, if I'm Sheed, I'm doing two things. One, I'm saying, all right, forget these guys, although I'm using a different F word. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to play my ass off for my quarterback, but I'm also going to play my ass off for me. And I'm going to go get a contract from somebody else, because clearly they would like to find someone else. And they can get the reason I think they should start Rasheed Walker is not only do I think he's more proven, and I still think he's a good player, and I don't know what to expect from Jordan Morgan. But secondly, if he plays well, you benefit from that this year. And then if you choose not to re-sign him, you benefit from whatever contract he signs elsewhere with a compensatory pick. So to me, your number one is obviously the one true position battle for a starting job. But to me, it's the one that is the least logical to me. Other than if Jordan Morgan was Jordan Tauscher and he was a 7th-round pick too, do we really think that this competition will be going on?
0%.
I don't.
0%.
Yeah. So again, and the one thing that I will say, and look, I don't think Matt LaFleur functions this way at all. And maybe Goody does, maybe he doesn't. I can't speak to. But I believe firmly in you earn what you get. And I would certainly hope that Jordan Morgan, if it is a draw, I think the tie should go to the incumbent. Like, tie goes to the runner, except if Will's behind the plate, because then he's throwing that kid out, no question about it.
You bet.
But if the tie goes to the runner, the tie should go to the incumbent. And if Rasheed Walker has a draw, and again, I don't know enough about offensive line play, watching practice to be able to speak who's clearly better. But when they watch the film and they say they're equally good, or Sheed is a little bit better, and they still make Jordan Morgan the left tackle, that ain't good. And that is the kind of stuff that really is problematic in the locker room. So I would hope that they would have the wisdom not to do that.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I think that's really well said. Marcus on the YouTube chat says, Wildy is goated. So therefore, I'm going to keep you for one more question, Jason, and I don't know that you'll have the answer to this. But the injury report...
If I'm goated, I better.
But the issue is you haven't been in the building yet, and you might not know this answer until Wednesday. What's going on with Quay Walker? Why is he on the injury report?
So I saw Quay during the off-season program. He was riding a stationary bike next to me. He said hello. He and I, he's a quiet dude, and he doesn't seem to enjoy the media much, but he and I always, I don't know why. Maybe it's because we both are those still waters run deep guys, and if you get me really mad, I'm like him, and I just might snap like he did as a rookie. But I've always gotten along really well with him, and I'm fascinated by his personality, and I don't want to blather on and on because I know you're already running late, but you're just running this show like we run Wildy and Tausch time-wise.
Bingo.
But, like, he is so self-loathing. Like, he never feels like what he's done is good enough. And, he and I had a really long talk. I asked him about all that, and then we continued that conversation after I'd turned off my iPhone recorder. And, I thought he played 3 of his best games until he got hurt in Seattle. I still think he's capable of being a really good player, and I still think that tandem of him and Edger and Cooper could be what the Packers envisioned, which is something like Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw were for years in San Francisco. But he hurts his ankle in Seattle. He misses the rest of that game, misses the remaining 3 games of the regular season, tries to come back in the playoff game against Philly and was clearly struggling. And he must have had surgery, because I saw him the last day we were there, and he had a scooter with a orthopedic boot on his foot. And it was one of those you put your knee on the pad and then you scoot with the other foot. And so he definitely, like, there's a legit injury there.
Okay.
As opposed to Elton, who, and I have not texted Elton. I haven't talked to him. You know, I may have been a little bit ahead of the curve than others were on him being unhappy with his contract. And look, he is undeniably one of my guys. And if I have been, and I want to ask Goody this question, and I want to kind of preface it as saying, look, it's not my job to root for guys or tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing, but it is my job to ask questions about things that I don't understand. I don't understand what the holdup is here. I just don't. Like, the general manager came out and said, we believe this guy can be an all-pro center.
Mm-hmm.
He's not asking for a 4-year extension. He's not asking for matching funds to what Aaron Banks got. Like, he is the linchpin of you reconfiguring your offensive line, and all he wants you to do is to guarantee some money so he knows he's going to be here this year and next year.
So
and then if you want to walk
real
away,
quick, Jason, real quick, because we've talked about this for months now, since the OTAs, that he just wants guaranteed money. How do we know that? Has he said that?
He may have texted it.
Okay, got it.
But the bottom line is that seems like a simple fix. So I don't get it, right? If you ever seen the movie Big, Tom Hanks says they're putting together this building that turns into a transformer. I don't get it. What's fun about playing with a building? I don't get this, okay? The Quay Walker piece, like, Quay Walker's not in a position to – so my point is that I don't know if this is an Elton – like, if he actually hurt himself while he's working out, or if this is a, Rodney Dangerfield and Caddyshack, since I'm referencing a bunch of old movies. Oh, my arm! But the bottom line is Elton's not going to practice on the first day, clearly. That's why they put him on NFI. The reason why Quay is because I think he's got a legitimate ankle injury that he's still recovering from in surgery. So I don't think that's the case.
I just wanted to make sure because he didn't get the 5th-year option like his fellow first-round pick Devontae Wyatt did. So I didn't know if that was contractual or.
No, I think he's got to earn it. Okay. No, I think he's got to earn it. So I don't think he's in position to not participate out of a desire for a new contract. But I would quickly add, I could be wrong. Like, maybe that is what's going on, but I don't think so.
Okay, got it. That's why you're goated. That's why I asked you the question. I appreciate the insight. Jason Wilde, you'll hear him tomorrow beginning at 9 a.m. on Wilde and Tausch. Thanks, Jason. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
So I didn't sell there. I cooked.
You cooked, brother. You cooked. I don't know what sell means.
Apparently what you're selling when you're screwing up and doing poorly. That's what I'm told. Again, high schoolers have a whole different vernacular that I'm learning now. But, hey, it was low key fun to be with you guys. It was light work.
Stop.
Okay. Bye.
Take care. Be good. The great Jason Wilde. How many
Now, saving time and money. Start customizing your future today at lakeland.edu/ESPN. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Choose from payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest, plus a free in-home window and energy assessment. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. The biggest sports stories in Wisconsin, talked about by Wisconsin sports fans, for Wisconsin sports fans.
The Bucks aren't answering the phone. It's as simple as that. They shouldn't answer the phone because you don't
it comes
just get.
down to
I don't
Giannis,
care.
and
I don't care if
Kyle's-
you give me 65 first-round picks. You're not getting another Giannis.
Right. So my natural take here is going to, I'm going Packers here.
I fully agree with you.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers in the home opener as well.
Yeah, the Packers going to come in and they got to prove something. They got to play with a chip on their shoulder, and I think they beat Detroit week
Jason,
1.
do you think this is crazy that all four of us just picked the Packers in week 1?
Congratulations, you've now assured the fact that the Lions will win.
This is Sunday Karma, powered by ESPN Wisconsin. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. Alongside Greg Scalzo, Alex Strofe, and Kyle Wallace, here's Good Karma Brand's founder and CEO, Craig Karmazin.
Yeah, no Kyle Wallace, Craig Karmazin, or Greg Scalzo. I'm the only one that showed up to work on a July Sunday. Will Summers is here as well, the young gun running the show for us this morning. Good to be hanging out with Will. And you on this Sunday morning. Thanks for hanging with us on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison YouTube pages, as well as the all-new, brand-new, customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can download in your app stores today. It's seamless. It's easy to listen back to shows. If you haven't already, make sure you download the ESPN Wisconsin app. Easy to connect to your car. Come on. If you haven't done it already, it's time to download it. ESPN Wisconsin app available in your app stores. So I see a ton of text came through and comments on YouTube and stuff like that when Jason joined us for the last, really it became like 40 minutes with Jason previewing training camp that begins Wednesday in Green Bay. So I do want to get to some of your comments and thoughts on everything going on in Green Bay with training camp starting. We'll get back to the Brewers. We'll get back to the Bucks. We'll get all that before we wrap up at noon. But one comment has come in on the text line from Daniel, and I have unfortunate news to report. So Shinedown, who I have said a long time, if you've listened to me over the course of the last 5 years during my time with ESPN Wisconsin, you know I love Shinedown and I never miss an opportunity to see them. They are going to be at the Fiserv Forum, which, full transparency, I live like 4 blocks away from Fiserv Forum. They're going to be there on Saturday. I have a wedding. I won't be there. I'm missing Shinedown up the street from my apartment. I'm very upset about it. Daniel chimed in and said, I'm going to the show next Saturday. I'll be looking for you. I'll be looking for the really, really, really good-looking guy with long hair. Oh, he'll be the really, really good-looking guy with long hair. I believe you, Daniel. I just unfortunately won't be there to see you. But a good friend of mine from high school and college is getting married, so I guess I should probably go to that.
Sucks.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. It was one of those moments when I got the invite for her wedding. I worked with her at my college radio station, Stevens Point, and I knew her in high school. And so when I got the invite, I was like, well, shoot, I got to go to this.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. And I've got like friends coming in from all over the country that we worked with at the college radio station. So it'll be great to see people. It's just, I'm missing, that would have been Shinedown show number 6 for me. It's the band I have seen the most, obviously. So, yeah.
Are you able to just skip weddings because you don't want to go?
So you could obviously RSVP no one way or another. They don't ask reasoning as to why you say no. Yeah, I guess you're young. You're not quite to the, like I'm 26, almost 27. So I'm in the midst of wedding season, right? Everybody I grew up with, went to high school with, went to college with, everybody is seemingly getting married. So I'm not going to be on Sunday Karma a ton the next couple weeks because I'm going to have a bunch of weddings. I think I have 5 weddings over the course of the next 4 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is one of them, 1 week you have 2 weddings?
1 week we have 2 weddings. That's correct.
What days are they on? Friday, Saturday?
Friday, Saturday. Yeah. So Brust is one of them. Brust is not to put his information out there, but I think we've said it on the show before. He's getting married on a Friday. And then my girlfriend's cousin is getting married the next day.
What's the worst day to get married on?
So I attended a Sunday wedding, the Sunday of the NFL draft. I stood up in a wedding. I was a groomsman. And like initially I was like, this sucks. Like I'm in Green Bay all week. I'm not going to sleep much. Obviously during the NFL draft week, because I obviously all of us were up there quite a bit, but I was the one of two people they sent up there all week. So I was there Sunday to Sunday. Woke up in Green Bay on Sunday, drove down to the wedding was in Racine, and it honestly ended up being awesome. It was just tough to wake up the next day because, I mean, it was the Monday after the NFL draft. I was working. But, oh well. Life goes on.
I feel like a great college football Saturday would be the worst day to have a wedding to go to on.
Sunday is, but I mean, I had a great time. It was an awesome wedding. But weddings are generally just awesome. They're very fun, right? You're celebrating people you love. You're dancing, you're drinking, you're eating good. Like, weddings are awesome. But yeah, Sunday has to be the answer.
You have to dance at weddings too, right?
Oh, big time. Yeah. You gotta, I mean, it seems like, at least for the most part, if let's say dinner's at 6:00. So that means the DJ's playing during dinner, but then the dance floor opens up probably 7:30. You should be out there by 8:00, at least getting your groove on. And then as you continue to have some cocktails, maybe the suit jacket comes off. I know you told me the story. You went to a wedding a couple weeks ago where the tie came off and ultimately it became a prop around your head. Like, that is the way to do it.
I was the tone setter.
Were you?
Yeah, I think I kind of forced it a little bit, though, because I just did it right away.
Well, I think the beauty of us working in a company where we are filled with extroverts and weird people, and I mean that as a compliment. Like, we're all weird in our own ways, but we're all extroverted, especially if you're in the content side. So if you're on the on-air side like we are, that's typically the case. I have heard our boss, though, Brian D., content director at ESPN Milwaukee, I've heard that guy is like the MVP of every wedding.
Really?
Yes, I've heard he gets down. I have never attended a wedding with him. I think he will be at the Brust wedding, so I'm excited to see it firsthand. But I have heard that guy, like, he's been obviously with the company a long time. I think he's been with the company like 10, 11 years. So he's been to a lot of weddings of people we work with. And I've always heard that guy goes hard on the dance floor.
He's just a veteran. He's a wedding veteran.
Yeah, he is. He is. I would say I'm solid, but I got to be honest with you. I don't think I'm a tone setter like you.
Yeah.
I do a good job. I definitely make my contributions on the dance floor. I just don't know how to dance, which is probably shocking to nobody given some of my recent athletic ventures.
See, I don't know how to dance either, but that's why I'm the tone setter, because more people feel comfortable when they see me attempting to dance and not really caring.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, we will get back to Packers training camp coming up next. We'll revisit my top 3 battles as well as hit some of your comments, questions, concerns, etc. If you have any of those with Packers training camp coming up, any thoughts on position battles, any thoughts on what you expect this season, maybe from the cornerback room or the wide receiver room, feel free to send those in. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more with our friends from Carbless. We will have some final thoughts 3 days ahead of Packers training camp beginning in Green Bay. Coming up next, we will also talk some more Brewers and some Bucks, all still ahead. It's Sunday Karma with you until noon right here, ESPN Wisconsin.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. On this show, it's always football season.
But that's not the argument here. The argument here is that's great what you've done these 2 years since you two have been the quarterback head coach combo.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
No one is on the hot seat right now, but if you don't deliver more than you have delivered in the first 2 years, I would argue that we start preheating the oven.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected variety Cedar Crest ice cream, $4.49. 12-count selected variety Stone Ridge Fudge or Orange Cream Bars, $3.49. 8-pack or 64-ounce selected varieties Juicy Juice, 2 for $6. 4.5 to 5.3-ounce selected varieties Chobani Flips Yogurt, 2 for $3.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers.
Safe. Okay. Ooh,
Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
This is Kevin Moret for Mentality. Men, you're being robbed of your potential. Research shows a shocking 1% annual decline in testosterone levels. That's why building muscle feels impossible and your confidence is at an all-time low. But here's the truth. You're not alone in this uphill battle. Mentality's physician-directed, FDA-approved treatment doesn't just level the playing field, it restores your body's powerful balance. Our patients experience a documented 30% increase in their testosterone levels. Stop struggling and turn this around. Defy the odds and reclaim your masculine edge at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
The open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire Up Your Fantasy. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I should be over all the butterflies, but I'm into you, and baby, even on the worst nights.
Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin. Alex Stroh, Will Summers with you. Talking Green Bay Packers training camp. Amongst other things, we got into a little concert derailment there. Somebody chimes in on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube chat. I've got a spare Coldplay ticket for you, Stroh. Coldplay last night in Madison. Looked like a great show. I watched before the show. So in every one of their shows, they do the Jumbotron song. So they put random fans on the screen, and Chris Martin kind of like freestyle sings about them. And that was the ultimate goal with the CEO in their show prior to Madison in Boston, who has now resigned from Astronomer, the CEO who was caught likely having an affair with a coworker of his. So always good stuff there. Always good stuff. But heard great reviews of Coldplay in Madison. Sounds like they put on a great show, long show.
What a marketing, like not an unintentional marketing tactic for Coldplay.
$600, I think, was the cheapest ticket I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
I remember when those tickets were announced, I was like, okay, like I'm not the biggest Coldplay fan in the world, but they're a huge band. I've heard they put on a really good show. And even when the tickets dropped and they sold out really fast, they were really expensive. And I was like, yeah. I go to a lot of concerts. I try not to go to concerts that cost me over $100 a ticket. And I think Coldplay was significantly more than that. I paid a little over $100 each for the Killers at Summerfest a couple weeks ago. But anyway.
Killers, that was worth it.
That was worth it. They
Probably.
put on a good show. No, they were really fun. They were really good. So, anyway. Packers training camp begins Wednesday up in Green Bay. With Jason Wilde, if you're just joining us, I reviewed my top 3 position battles I've got my eye on, which we will be able to track beginning Wednesday. I can't believe it's already football season. And I know it's not really football season. We're still 7 Sundays away from Packers-Lions. But that's going to come quick.
I mean, the Hall of Fame game's, what, next week?
Yeah, but again, it's 2 weeks. I think it's the 31st or the 30th. It's like one of the last days of July. I think it's the 31st.
Yeah,
I think it's that
Thursday. It's on a Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the 31st. It's the day of the MLB trade deadline. So I'm going to be a little distracted that day, hopefully. But I guess when we look at real football, I don't know that anybody looks at the Hall of Fame game and goes, yep, football's back, baby.
I think it is. It's like the false hope one, like the Dublin, the Ireland week 0 for college football.
I hate that branding. Don't even get me started on week 0. But yes, I agree. It's the, oh yeah, we made it, woohoo. But I'll watch Packers preseason games. I was actually going through the schedule. I have a wedding for 2 of the 3. I'll be at a wedding for 2 of 3 Packers preseason games. So I'll watch them. I'll probably have it up on the phone at those weddings. But I don't know how many great big takeaways you can have from preseason games. What really matters is 7 weeks from today when the Lions come to Lambeau Field for the season opener. But the 3 battles I've got my eye on for training camp are the following 3. Number 3 is cornerback hierarchy, who sticks out above the rest. Number 2 is wide receiver 1. I think it's Matthew Golden versus everybody else. And training camp battle number 1 is the battle at left tackle between Rasheed Walker and Jordan Morgan, last year's first-round pick. If I was to predict winners right now, I'd go Carrington Valentine for cornerback hierarchy, Matthew Golden for wide receiver 1, and Rasheed Walker at left tackle. Though, as Jason explained, I don't know that the Packers want to play Rasheed Walker there because they don't want to pay him. And they've been really weird with the financials on the offensive line. Zach Tom, Elton Jenkins, and not yet, but likely Rasheed Walker will become one at some point. I just find strange. But there's a big likelihood also that Rasheed Walker wins the left tackle battle, and then Jordan Morgan is just your right guard by default. But we'll see. Because, look, I just don't think you draft the guy in the first round, and in year 2, after year 1, obviously he dealt with the shoulder injury, but he didn't really play a ton. He played a little bit of right guard. You don't make a first-round investment in a guy you don't see starting, especially on the offensive line. And that's kind of what happened with Devontae Wyatt a little bit. He was obviously a dual first-round pick with Quay Walker a couple years back, and he wasn't starting right away. And then he built it up and had some nice plays. And he really had a nice start to the season last year and then dealt with a week 4 injury against Minnesota. And then he just really wasn't as efficient as he was at the beginning of the season throughout the remainder of the year. But he's a guy where I think they're really happy with the output of Devontae Wyatt recently. Do you think they'll trade to get an experienced wide receiver 1? No. I think they're the only thing they're trading at wide receiver would be trading out at this point. Again, this goes back to my point with Jordan Morgan. You don't make a first-round investment in a wide receiver if you're not playing that guy. And that should signal to you as a Packers fan. The drafting of Matthew Golden tells you what they think of the other receivers in that building. While some of them can evolve into nice pieces. And I know Dan chimed in earlier. Dan in East Troy. Jaden Reed will become a superstar. I don't think the Packers view it that way. He only played 65% of snaps last year. Now, he was their leading receiver for the second year in a row, and I think he will be a really good piece, but I don't view him as like a really good number 1 receiver. All of your eggs should be in the Matthew Golden basket at this point. You draft that guy at pick 23 because you think he can be a reliable top-end receiver in the National Football League for years to come. That's why you make that level of investment. So when it comes to the wide receiver 1 battle in training camp that I'm watching, it's Matthew Golden versus the field. The field may win come week 1, right? Romeo Doubs might be listed as on the Packers depth chart as their lead wide receiver, as their wide receiver 1. But I think when it comes to both snap count, playing time, and production, when we look back at this at the end of the regular season, I think Matthew Golden will stand out above the rest. Now, could Tucker Kraft, in theory, be your leading pass catcher this year? I think so. I think he proved last year, 700-yard season, 50-reception season for Tucker Kraft, the tight end. He's a guy who could be a real threat in the passing game in 2025. I think he's been called baby George Kittle by people. And he's got some of the same skill set that George Kittle has that makes him a really good runner. He knows how to fight through contact, yards after the catch, yada, yada. Tucker Kraft did a really good year last year. So could he be your leading pass catcher? Maybe. And they want to get him more involved. But I think Matthew Golden ultimately becomes your wide receiver one. That's what I think right now. I'm going to have new information on Wednesday that might change my mind. That's the beauty of training camp. We're going to overanalyze everything until we have real football 7 weeks from today when it's Lions-Packers. We're going to overanalyze everything. But that's what we do as fans. That's the beauty of sports. Fun time of the year. Training camp starts this week. The Brewers are red hot. The Bucks are done making moves, it seems, this offseason. We'll see if it's been enough for Giannis. We'll talk about that coming up next. But first, got to tell you about my friends at Door County Distillery. No better way to elevate a tailgate, family reunion, graduation party, whatever you've got going on with Door County Distillery. Whiskeys, rums, brandies, gins, vodkas. Brandy and vodka, by the way, also available in cherry brandy or vodka for your old fashions, or maybe a cherry vodka drink. And that's local Door County cherries infused into those. Tons of local collaborations done for Door County Distillery, and they are available statewide, whether you're in Green Bay, Stevens Point, Madison, Milwaukee, Beaver Dam, any of the in-betweens. Door County Distillery is available near you. Check out their website, doorcountydistillery.com. Use their cool search tool. What are you looking for? Are you looking for their bourbon, my personal favorite? Click that. Type in your zip code. It'll tell you the retailer nearest you on their website, doorcountydistillery.com, as well as a huge list of unique cocktail recipes. We'll talk Milwaukee Bucks coming up next. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For me and my family, finding the perfect home is a journey, but we don't walk it alone. With the We Sell Group, Rob and Nick aren't just real estate agents, they're part of our family's team. They bring us options, perspective, and peace of mind. While they navigate the market, I can stay focused on all that life has in store. Because at the We Sell Group, it's not just about the home, it's about the people and the path it takes to get there. The We Sell Group, more than agents, part of your journey. Get started with Rob and Nick at wesell.kw.com.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal & Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal & Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal & Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal & Associates at teamgrimal.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Workplace stress is now a leading cause of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce feeling it more than ever. You can't escape work, but you can take small steps to take care of yourself. A walk, some sun, a favorite song, and therapy. Ongoing support to build resilience for whatever your day throws at you. Balance is tough, but getting help shouldn't be. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank. National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Let your car shine without spending a dime. Tsunami Express Car Wash is Milwaukee's fan-favorite car wash for a next-level clean. And right now, your first wash is free when you sign up online. That's our $25 top wash, packed with gloss, protection, and free bonus perks like vacuums and mat cleaners. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, New Berlin, and Mount Pleasant, it's easier than ever to get a winning wash with Milwaukee's favorite car wash team. Get your first free wash today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount rate.
Liquor. The Big Slide. Barns and barns of animals, and all that food on a stick. State Fair is one of the biggest events of the summer, and we'd like to send you there. Compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Purchase any 1-case 30-pack cans of Miller High Life or any 1 12-pack Leinenkugel craft beer and receive 1 free State Fair ticket, all while supplies last. But don't delay. Tickets go quickly. And I know you don't want to miss the bacon-wrapped bacon. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Discount Liquor, voted best liquor store in Milwaukee, again! See us this week for your free Wisconsin State Fair ticket.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
And visit us online at discountliquorinc.com.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Nobody epitomizes Wisconsin quite like Gruber Law Offices. Gruber Law Offices has been serving the people of Wisconsin for more than 35 years as Wisconsin's premier injury firm. Was that at Bastille Days yesterday? Gruber Law Offices everywhere. You know who kicked off the race on Thursday? Well, that'd be David Gruber himself, because David Gruber and Gruber Law Offices is all about you, Milwaukee and Wisconsin. They are a family firm and a winning team. If you or somebody you know has been injured in an accident, make that one call to Gruber Law Offices. We're one call, that's all, with our friends. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. Sunday Karma with the ESPN Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, Will Summers hanging out with you for about 20 more minutes on this Sunday morning. Will told me in the commercial break he might have a Sunday, which I'm proud of you, bro. You should have a Sunday.
There's no reason to sulk on a Sunday.
No reason. I'm gonna run some errands. I gotta hit the grocery store. I gotta get an oil change. Adult stuff. You know, fun Sunday for me. I gotta pick up laundry detergent and toilet paper. So
riveting.
That's on my grocery list. Yeah, riveting indeed. That's what you can expect. This is in adulthood. It's very fun. Very fun stuff. So earlier this week, our buddy Eric Name at The Athletic, New York Times, was out in Vegas for NBA Summer League and caught up with the Bucks general manager, John Horst. And obviously the Bucks have had one of the more fascinating off seasons of any NBA team. The Miles Turner signing was ginormous, but they had to make room for him. And by making room for him, they waived and stretched the contract of Damian Lillard, which they will now see a little bit of help on. It'll go down to about $20 million a year with him signing in Portland. Damian Lillard back in, obviously, the team that drafted him. He spent the majority of his career in Portland. He signed there on a 3-year deal earlier this week. So they'll get a little bit of help on his contract, but not a ton. They're still going to owe him about $20 million a year for the next 5 seasons. But John Horst talked to Eric Name about the Bucks offseason, and this quote was based on a question, to my understanding, about have you done enough to keep Giannis happy? And here's what John Horst said, quote, have we done enough? I don't know. We'll find out. Have we done everything that we possibly could? Absolutely. And have we done more than anyone else could possibly do? I believe we have, end quote. And I agree with John Horst completely. What they've done this offseason is really impressive when the narrative around the Milwaukee Bucks this offseason was this will be a gap year. This will be a year for Giannis to go out, play Giannis ball, dominate, maybe win his 3rd MVP, have some fun, be a 6 seed, and then get bounced early in the playoffs. And then next year you have Damian Lillard back. Well, John Horst rewrote that narrative a little bit by signing Miles Turner, by signing Gary Harris, by signing Cole Anthony, by re-signing Gary Trent Jr., Bobby Portis, Kevin Porter Jr. This is a good roster. Is it a bona fide championship roster? I don't think you can confidently say yes, but I think you should feel good about this team's chances. Much better than you would have felt, say, had they gone with the run it back gap year approach. They made some outside moves by bringing in Cole Anthony and Gary Harris and Miles Turner, and then they brought back some of the talent that you feel good about around Giannis and Bobby Portis and Gary Trent Jr. Obviously, he had a really nice playoff run. Kevin Porter Jr. is a guy who can run the point guard position for you this year. And yeah, you feel good about it. But do you look at the Cavaliers or the Knicks or the Thunder or the Nuggets or even the Lakers and the Clippers at this point and go, yeah, yeah, the Bucks are better than them. I don't know that you can confidently say that. The one thing you can take peace in is knowing that the Bucks have one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player in the world, in Giannis Antetokounmpo on their roster. And when you have that in the NBA, you always have a chance in a superstar-driven league. But we've gone away from the era of super teams. We've gone back to the way of complementary pieces around superstars. And that's what you saw in Oklahoma City, right? SGA wins the MVP. He's a bona fide superstar. But then you've got guys like Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams stepping up to lead them to their first title, at least in Oklahoma City, franchise history. So what Milwaukee has around Giannis is good. I don't know if it's great. Miles Turner's a really nice piece. He can help Giannis stretch the floor a little bit and let Giannis do things he does great. Miles Turner can sit in the corner and pop some threes. He's a good three-point shooter, but also obviously a really good rebounder, a really good shot blocker defensively. He brings a lot of attributes you really like. Like he's an upgraded Brook Lopez. That's the way he should be viewed. Now, can some of these other guys take that next step is the big question that determines whether this is a 5 seed in the East or one of the best teams in the entire NBA. And that we have to wait and see on. But John Horst deserves a ton of credit for what he was able to pull off this offseason. Was it enough to keep Giannis? I think the answer is yes. I think the answer's always been yes, though. I don't think Giannis is leaving. Because when it comes to Giannis leaving, if he's traded, you are shredding the team he is traded to of assets. So Giannis ultimately has to face the decision of, would the grass be greener elsewhere, especially in the immediate? And the answer to that to me is no, unless Oklahoma City or San Antonio or now Houston, but probably not anymore with the addition of Kevin Durant, or New York. Can they bring in Giannis without losing a superstar or their main superstar and compete for a title in the immediate? That I don't think is the case. So when it comes to Giannis' best chance to win a championship in 25-26, I still view that as in Milwaukee. And John Horst deserves a ton of credit for what he was able to pull off this offseason. Is it perfect? Is it ideal? Of course not. You never want to be paying somebody that's not in your roster $20+ million per year for the next 5 seasons. But I think John Horst has revitalized the championship opportunities for Milwaukee this offseason and allows us as Bucks fans to look at it and go, yeah, they're in the mix. I don't know if they're the favorite when you look at Cleveland, when you look at New York, maybe even Philadelphia, who could be back in the mix in 25-26. But you should feel good about what John Horst has done this offseason and Giannis' chances to win a second championship, which is all Giannis cares about. That's what Giannis is obsessed with. He wants to win a second championship. And I think the general manager has done his due diligence and his job to make that a reality, hopefully, this upcoming season. So that's where I think we're at on the Bucks, following John Horst's conversation with Eric Name of The Athletic.
I think you put it very well when you said that the age of super teams is over. We saw that with the Pacers this year, and even I'd say the Knicks, where depth pieces and players surrounding superstars play a bigger impact than just having stars and having to share all that talent and shots and, possessions and touches. So for John Horst to just consistently put it, like you said, not ideal that we're losing all that money in the cap, but for him to consistently put his best foot forward and keep the Bucks in the mix in the East is all you need. If you're in the mix, you have a fighting chance. We've
Correct.
seen that time and time again in the NBA.
And the best part about that is you have one of the best players in the world, right? If Giannis is healthy, you certainly have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I look at the Bucks depth chart, I feel pretty good about where they're at in terms of depth around Giannis. Your starting line is likely something that looks like this: Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., Kyle Kuzma, Miles Turner, and Giannis. And then coming off the bench, Cole Anthony, Taurean Prince, Bobby Portis, AJ Green, Ryan Rollins, who they brought back, who I didn't mention there. Jericho Sims is back. And then you've got like the low risk moves. Gary Harris, Andre Jackson Jr. still on the roster. And Tyler Smith, obviously a rookie last year. Can he develop into something? We'll find out. But you feel good about your big depth with Miles Turner, Bobby Portis, Jericho Sims on the roster. So we will see. Only time will tell. But I would assume, at least this offseason, they're done making moves. And could they make more moves at the trade deadline if they're not exactly seeing everything they'd like? Maybe. But to John Horst's point, I think they've done more than anybody expected this offseason, and I think that's enough to keep you honest. So we will see. All right, Palermo's picks as we look at the final game in Los Angeles for the Brewers. Can they complete the season sweep of the Los Angeles Dodgers? We make our Palermo's picks as we wrap up Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin right after this.
More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
Named by me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Get ready for Germanfest Carnival style. Join us for a weekend filled with food, fun, music, and culture on Milwaukee's beautiful lakefront. Sink your teeth into authentic Spanferkel, brats, pretzels, and sweet German pastries. Bring the whole family to cheer on the tiny racers at the Dachshund Derby. It's a crowd favorite. Tap your toes and raise your stein as you dance and schunkel to live music all weekend long. Catch Vox Club, Juhe aus Tirol, and an incredible lineup of national and local bands. Watch the colorful carnival parade with music, dancers, and costumes you won't want to miss. On Saturday night, don your best costume and join us for the Masquerade Ball at the Miller Stage. Come for the music, the food, the dancing, and the memories waiting to be made. Eat, drink, dance, and make it your tradition at Germanfest. For more information and online tickets, visit Germanfest.com.
Your path to a degree should fit your life, not the other way around. At Lakeland University, you can personalize every part of your college experience. With a main campus in Sheboygan, evening classes across the state, and flexible online options, you choose how and when you learn. Just graduated high school, changing careers, juggling work and life, they've got options for you. You can even earn credit for experience you already have or for the work you're doing now, saving time and money. Start customizing your future today at lakeland.edu/ESPN. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin, presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I've been addicted to the all-new Cheez-It pizza from Palermo's. Had another one for lunch yesterday, the pepperoni. It's in 3 flavors. It is awesome. Available in your local grocer's freezer. Cheez-It, the legendary snack cracker, is now available as a frozen pizza. Each crust is a giant Cheez-It. Isn't that awesome? It's square-shaped, it's ultra-thin, it's super crispy, and the perfect amount of Cheez-It flavor. On top of each crust are flavors that perfectly complement the Cheez-It taste. There is the Italian 4 cheese, the cheddar jack supreme, and then my favorite is the pepperoni. And it's super short bake time. We put it in for 10 minutes. It's ultra crispy. Top gets a little burnt, but I like it that way with the Cheez-It. It's so good, though. You can find Cheez-It frozen pizza in your favorite grocer's frozen pizza section. Cheez-It pizza from Palermo's. It's amazing. If you haven't tried it yet, you got to try it. It's so good.
Making me hungry.
Had one for lunch yesterday. I'm going to the grocery store after this. As I mentioned, I have to get like some household things. I'm going to get some Cheez-It pizzas too. We bought 5 of them the last time we went to the grocery store. We are out, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So maybe 3 weeks ago.
Sounds like it could be a big piece for me having a Sunday.
Yeah, have a Sunday. Down to Cheez-It pizza. It's easy to do, by the way, too. If you're having yourself a day. So make sure you do that. All right, couple minutes left with you on Sunday Karma. That's Will Summers. I'm Alex Strouf with you for a few more minutes. No Greg Scales and no Craig Karmazin with us today on Sunday Karma. Brewers are going for not only a sweep of this series, but a season sweep of the reigning world champion Dodgers today. That's a real sentence if you're not the biggest baseball fan in the world. That's how good this Brewers team is. They have the longest winning streak in Major League Baseball, looking to make that double digits today as well as they look for their 10th win in a row, which dates back to prior, obviously, to the All-Star break. And if they do win today, 10 in a row, 6 of those wins against the Dodgers. How insane of a sentence is that? It's ridiculous.
I read a stat yesterday that the Brewers are 14-5 this season against teams in first place in their division. So against the what? 9 or
5 other. 6 others because they're in second place.
Top 5 teams
so,
in
Cubs,
the
I
MLB.
don't know if they've played the Tigers yet. They may have earlier in the year.
There's one team that they haven't played yet.
Okay. But it will be Jose Quintana against Clayton Kershaw. The matchup of the century right there. Just what everybody expected a few months ago. If I would have told you in April, when the Brewers started the season as poorly as they did against the Yankees and the Royals, that on July 20th, by the way, happy anniversary to the Bucks championship 4 years ago today. If I would have told you when they started as poorly as they did, getting outscored by $1 billion over the course of the first 4 games to the Yankees and the Royals, that on July 20th, the Brewers would have the 3rd best record in Major League Baseball, and they are going for a season sweep of the Dodgers on a Sunday, and Jose Quintana and Clayton Kershaw is the matchup everybody's got their eye on today, you would have told me, you would have sent me to a facility. You would have said you're literally lost. You've lost your marbles, dude.
Yeah, because the season was over after the first series. Remember that?
Yeah, some of us acted that way. I did not. I said, it's baseball. We have 158 games to go, which is why maybe me saying, hey, by the way, this is a World Series good team. I don't think that's an overreaction. What are we, 98 games in? But there's still a lot of season left to be played. A lot of things can happen between now and October. But as we're looking at it right now, the Brewers are World Series good. They have the 3rd best record in Major Leagues. They have the 2nd best record in the National League. And somehow they are still in 2nd place in the division to the Chicago Cubs. A game back of them. Cubs wrap up a series with the Red Sox today as well. They're also going for a sweep. Good baseball teams in the NL Central this year. Very, very good division. And by the way, the Reds and Cardinals are starting to fall behind, but they weren't that far back coming out of the All-Star break. Reds are 7.5 back, 6.5 back of the Brewers. Cardinals 8.5 back. 7.5 back of the Brewers for 2nd place in the NL Central. I mean, I got to do it, right? Not only do the Brewers in, Jose Quintana outduels Clayton Kershaw today.
Yeah.
That's my prediction, as the Brewers win 10 in a row and get ready to head to Seattle tomorrow. A lot of late-night games, which I actually don't mind.
Mm-hmm. Gives you time to get some stuff done and then kind of tune in before bed.
Yeah, get a little Love Island in before baseball, rather than the inverse that it's been the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
So, there you go. That will do it for us today. Thanks to Jason Wilde for joining us for about 40 minutes in the first hour. Thanks to Will Summers for stepping in for our vacationing Kyle Wallace today. Kyle will return tomorrow for KBN. I'm Alex Strouf. I'm off next week, but you can hear me throughout the week, including a special 12 to 2 edition of Mr. Relevant live from Green Bay on Wednesday on 94.5 ESPN for the first day Packers training camp. That does it for us. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One Collection?
Those rings say